Rupert Lowe puts the government to shame. Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching as always. Rupert Lowe has had a committee or a parliamentary debate down in Westminster today on the back of his independently funded grooming gang inquiry. Now, this debate obviously doesn't have any statutory powers or anything like that, and it was held in Westminster Hall as opposed to the main chamber. But there was a broad range of people at the debate, and from what I can see, all political parties were represented. There were powerful interventions from all over the place, from Suella Braverman, Nigel Farage, and Rupert Lowe himself. Now what I want to do is, I want to reflect on a few things first of all. Now I am a bit of a coward when I watch and I hear these harrowing accounts. I can't watch them fully, and I can't watch them fully because they enrage you, they leave you emotionally drained, and I would only recommend you watch them. They are available on YouTube if you've got a strong stomach. This is probably the worst atrocity that's been committed on the native people of the United Kingdom ever, and it's been done to us, and I'll get into that in a minute or two. The interventions, as I say, were mostly powerful and they were mostly strong. I particularly like the one from Tory MP Esther McVeigh. She's up in my patch. I think she's just down the road in Tatton, what we refer to as posh Cheshire. Now, there were a few Lib Dums in the debate hall, and they weren't interested in interventions for any particular reason apart from to slander Rupert Lowe and Elon Musk of all people. We have this from Basil the Great. Lib Dem MP attacks Elon Musk and Rupert Lowe. And then he goes on to say, I have no words for some people. This is Cameron Thomas. He used the debate about child sexual abuse to call Elon Musk a white supremacist responsible for starting the Southport riots. He also claims that Elon had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, despite the Epstein files proving Elon rejected invites to Epstein Island repeatedly. He then attacks Rupert Lowe for being popular on X. People like this are why this country is falling apart. Cameron Thomas, you are a effing disgrace. And that's pretty much what he did in the debate. I do concur completely with that, actually. That's pretty much what he did. So there were bad faith actors there. Nigel Farage, of all people, who has flip-flopped on whether Reform UK would actually do a independence inquiry, which he said originally. Then he backtracked away from that, saying he'd do that if he gets into government. And he said that he didn't want to do an independence inquiry because it didn't have any statutory powers, despite previously promising one. He did make a very, very good point, and the very good point that he made is that Parliament and its committees not only have parliamentary privilege, which is why that Lib Dum MP could smear Elon Musk and he won't actually be able to be sued because of parliamentary privilege. You're protected in Parliament even if you defame people. But Parliament has broad and sweeping powers. It can actually subpoena certain people under pain of perjury, compel them to tell the truth, and they can actually turn the debate chambers and the debate halls into courts. And they have the statutory authority of criminal courts. So Parliament can do this. And Nigel Farage has said that we could bite the bullet, we could work and achieve cross-party consensus, and we could actually move on the back of Rupert Lowe's inquiry and actually subpoena individuals and not wait for the glacial pace of the government inquiry that's being chaired by government officials and people from the ruling party. We could actually bite the bullet and we could actually do this. So it's whether Parliament's actually going to work together to get justice for the girls and yes boys that were racially targeted by predominantly Pakistani grooming gangs, Muslim men, imported to this country against the consent and democratic mandate of the British people. Parliament can do this, as whether they will actually put differences aside to do this. I want to bring up a point that Rupert Lowe made when he was up in Makerfield recently, and he received a lot of flack for it. This is what he said. I'm going to bring it up here. He said that Rupert Lowe calls the Grooming gang scandal something equivalent to the Holocaust. I actually disagree. Don't unsubscribe. It's actually worse. It's actually worse than the Holocaust. And I'm going to get into why specifically it was worse. If you look at what happened during World War II under the mid-century Germans, they did target the Jewish community en masse and other minority groups. It wasn't just Jewish people. And they did that, and they used the powers of the state to do that. Yes, they hid some of them nefarious actions behind the scenes, so the full horrors weren't known until after the war, according to official documents. Whether you believe that's another matter. The point about the Holocaust is it was targeted hatred and prejudice towards particular communities on mainland Europe and particularly Germany. What we have in the United Kingdom, that is still going on today. Make no mistake, if it's happening in one town or city, it's happening in 100. If it's happening in Manchester, then it's happening in Cardiff. It's happening in Glasgow, it's happening in Liverpool. Happening in Telford, Rochdale, Rotherham, wherever. Any big urban centre where the diversity is hit, it will be happening there. My belief is it started far before people will admit, and it's still going on to this day. Now, the actual targeting of white British boys and girls was a race-related hate crime, much like what is happening or happened with the Holocaust during World War II. It was targeted hatred towards particular groups. What is different is, whereas it was hatred that was guiding the Third Reich under the Austrian painter, what happened here is state indifference that enabled the hatred of the white British working class to allow these atrocities to happen. So where in Germany it was one level, institutional hatred towards particular groups, what we had in Britain was a tiered indifference, and then under the indifference we had the imported diversity that nobody voted for committing these horrendous crimes. So it's actually far worse. You'll notice on the bell curve between love and hate. Love and hate are both at the top. It means you matter. You matter enough for them to do this to you. What happened to our working classes was done and enabled by the state, because I don't matter, you don't matter, and the children of our descendants do not and will not matter to the people in positions of power in the UK currently, in Britain. This is just my thoughts. Your mileage may vary. Now, the findings of this independent inquiry by Rupert Lowe will be produced and published in the coming weeks. You let me know if you think I've got this on the money. You let me know if Keir Starmer and the government really don't care. I believe they don't care. They care more about protecting their diversity and their voter base than getting justice for the most vulnerable people in our society that they were charged to protect and defend. Like, comment and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. You have a good day and thank you for your time.